Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Now today, kids, I'm going to talk about this ridiculous and stupid impeachment that is finally over. Bam, 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 bam. Buh, buh. But first, I want to give a different angle or more information about this just pointless, not very well thought out plan by the exalted ruler of California, Gavin Bang Your Wife Newsom, to suspend physical education for kids. Now, yesterday I talked about how kids need physical education. Childhood obesity is at an all-time high. This is also a way for them to grab more power from parents by taking responsibility from parents. Instead of leaning on parents telling them, hey, if bullying is this bad and it's at the level where the top government official in the state needs to get involved, that means to me that they should have leaned on the parents and told them, hey, your kids are being little bastards. You need to do something about it. Because I'm sure a lot of parents, maybe even most parents, who have kids who are bullying other kids, which is an overused word. To me, I always thought bullying was, hey, give me your lunch money, that kind of shit. But everything's bullying now. But if your kid's being a little asshole, I would venture to say that a lot of parents probably don't know. And if you brought it to their attention that their kid is a little asshole, they'd probably do something about it in most cases. But instead of doing that, they just leapfrog the parents and go ahead and just fuck with policy. Another angle to this is for the special needs kids. Now, I was talking to two education professionals, one 20 plus years with special needs kids and the other with eight plus years of experience with regular ed kids. And neither one of them, in all their years, the thousands of kids they've come in contact with, observed, they've never come across a non-binary child. You smell that? Smells like bullshit. Now, I've used this term before. They have the special needs kids involved in this to Voltron their causes. What the hell is Voltron? Well, for you older cats who may not know, Voltron was a cartoon in the 80s where it was these kids and they were inside these robot cats, like these robot lions or whatever, these big cats. They were robots. And the kids weren't shit when they were just the robots by themselves. But when they combined, they made this huge robot named Voltron that had a big ass sword and could fuck shit up. So that's what they do with these causes. You'll see it like the Women's March. Well, it's the Women's March, but it's also LGBTQ and immigrants and all this other shit. Because on its own, it's bullshit and nobody cares and it's fake. What rights do men have that women don't? But the same thing in this case. They take the non-binary kids, which is what, 5 fucking kids in the state of California? But they Voltron it with the special needs kids because it's special needs. So yeah, whatever they need, let's do it. People are bullying special needs kids, whatever we need to do. Take it away. That's what they're doing here because non-binary kids on its own is fucking dumb. What non-binary kids? Sorry, son or daughter, you're one or the other. Look down. That tells you what you are. Now, how you feel about it, we'll deal with that later. But you are a boy or you are a girl, period. All the parents playing into this bullshit, virtue signaling through their child, fucking their head up just so they can look good. Just so they can look inclusive. Non-binary. Any damn way, taking physical education, taking PE away from kids, special needs kids, is very bad. These kids need to be outside. They need to exercise. They need to get it out, so to speak. It's good for a lot of these kids to focus on physical activity. Like there's a kid who has Down syndrome that this educator knows. He loves playing basketball. He plays it at school. He plays for a team. He plays when he goes to the little rec center. He has a hoop at home. He loves basketball. It's good for them to have things to focus on. What's next? You're going to take away Special Olympics? Because you don't want them to be bullied? And that's another thing. If the kids are in a special need class and they're severe enough, they have teachers aid that will take them out with other special needs kids to get exercise, to play. It's important. And if the kids are high functioning enough to go to a regular ed class, then they're high functioning enough to defend themselves if necessary against bullies. Man, I hate that stupid word. I'm only using that word because that's the language they use in this stupid bill or whatever they're going to pass, this executive order. And another thing, if a special needs kid's aide is out there with them and another kid makes fun of them, what do you think that aide is going to do? They're going to do something about it. They're not going to cry to the governor to change policy and suspend shit. They're going to handle it because you shouldn't be making fun of special needs kids. Hello? Do we need to say that out loud? While we're on the topic of saying obvious shit out loud, hey, puppies are cute, cancer's bad. Like, no shit, you're not supposed to make fun of special needs kids. Does that happen? Yes. Are kids fucking monsters? Yes. But for the most part, kids are pretty good if they see you messing with the special needs kids who they possibly are cool with. Or just out of basic human decency, they're going to say something. Hey, man. Hey, girl. Why are you messing with that kid? Leave him alone. I remember seeing a viral video, this blind kid. Man, what kind of piece of shit kid would do this? But this blind kid was getting picked on. This other kid that didn't even know him walks up and beat the shit out of that bully. That's what happens. We self-police. We don't need the government for everything. Somebody hand me a Post-it, and I'm going to write everything we need the government for on that tiny little square. Point being, we don't need you for much. You're not very good at your job in the first place, so we're not going to give you more responsibility. I'm sure some of us have been that person at work, and you're like, damn, why are you giving me all this shit to do, but that moron has hardly anything to do? It's because we're the more responsible ones. You don't give responsibility to an idiot. Why would you do that to these kids? And the professional that I was speaking to were like, well, because part of the article I was reading, Gavin Newsom is saying that part of this PE test is a body mass index, which means they have to measure you. It's your height, your weight, all that shit. And they're saying the kids are being bullied during that. Okay, cut out the BMI, put some sweats on, get your ass out there and run. What does non-binary or special needs have to do with anything? If you're one of these 4 non-binary kids in California, throw some sweatpants on, get out there and start jogging. What does one have to do with the other? Like my dad would say, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Nothing. It's another way to take power and responsibility from parents. Responsibility is power. We're going to step in because this tiny handful of kids, if they even exist, like I said, neither one of them have ever come across a non-binary kid. A kid that believes they're not a boy or a girl. They're just a thing. A Z, a zim, a they. Man, when you say this shit out loud, it sounds so damn stupid, because it is. And a lot of people, like I said, when they connect it to things like special needs, when they try to say that, oh, LGBTQ rights are the same as civil rights. Shut your fucking mouth. I've told you about one of these morons telling me that calling someone queer is the same as calling someone a nigger. What? How do you get through to that kind of stupidity? Now, on to something from something that's starting to something that is finally over. Like we didn't know Trump was going to get acquitted. If the Democrats don't have shit, you must acquit. Are you serious? All this is based on a phone call between President Trump and the president of the Ukraine, however you say that shit. Trump released the transcripts to the phone call. Hold up. Now, if I did something wrong, and I know I did something wrong, I'm not going to release information on what I did wrong. That doesn't make any sense. So this is all based on a phone call. Months ago, he released the transcripts. Now what? Now we got to go to this drawn-out bullshit of the Democrats trying to impeach Trump for was it obstruction of Congress and abuse of power. If there's ever been a Congress that needs to be obstructed, it's this one. But that shit didn't happen. That's why he got acquitted. You guys just made it worse. You guys, it's like Trump had a gun to your head. He can't pull the trigger and you go, no, Trump, the safety's right here. There you go. You idiot. You dumbasses. So by wasting people's time, wasting our money, and not getting shit done, all these clowns are focused on impeachment. People are dying. California, Nancy, listen up, Nancy. Come here, dummy. Your home state is California. All right? Now, I've said in past videos that we were 49th in education. Forgive me. We're 38th. We're 38th out of 50 states, one of the largest economies in the world. But we have people who don't have electricity. Their insulin is expiring because the refrigerator hasn't worked in 3 days. We still have towns smoldering from these fires. Our roads are shit. Our infrastructure is shit. We have a third of the whole country's homeless population right here. They had a fucking measles outbreak in Los Angeles. Maxine Waters, a.k.a. Aunt Pearl, a.k.a. you dumb fuck. We have all these things wrong with California. You've neglected all of it, chewing on this bone known as impeachment. Now that Trump has been acquitted, meaning you can't fuck with him anymore. Mueller didn't do it. This bullshit impeachment didn't do it. Now what, dummy? Now you have nothing. Now, ironically, you've given Trump victimhood. The very thing you use to shove things down our throat and try to make us feel bad because we don't agree with someone's insanity. Like that non-binary shit I was just talking about. If I come to you and say, hey, I think I'm Mickey Mouse, and if you don't start referring to me as Mickey Mouse, you're some kind of phobe or some kind of ist. You're a hater, you're a terrible person because you won't buy into the fucking cuckoo fantasy in my brain that I am a cartoon mouse. Now, was that a little hyperbolic? Yeah, but not really. So you just gave him the very thing that you use to take power. God, there ain't a group of writers in perverted, disgusting Hollywood that could write this story. So now what? Now what are you dumbasses going to talk about? What are you going to focus on now? You're going to start talking about, oh, that impeachment was a sham and it wasn't done right and they should have let us call witnesses. Hey, idiot. You had chances to call witnesses before you turned it over to Congress. You didn't do that. That's your fault. And here we are thinking you guys couldn't get any dumber. What are you going to do now? Of course he's acquitted. And today at 12 o'clock Eastern time, I'm sure, he is going to speak to the people. You fucked up. Like the cop said in Menace to Society. You know you done fucked up, don't you? You know you done fucked up. Stupid. So I'm interested, just like after his next term, when Trump gets out of office, what are you going to talk about? Same thing here. Now it's not going to be no more impeachment. What are you going to talk about now, you assholes? Maybe you can go back to your home states and, dare I say, get some shit done? Huh? Fucking morons. You got the dumb leading the dumb. But Trump is a free man. He needs to come out when he does his press conference to address the people after his acquittal. He needs to come out to that song by David Hasselhoff. Remember when they tore down the Berlin Wall and he was standing on top of it singing that song, Freedom? Trump needs to come out playing that shit because he's a free man. He's free to tear your ass up and do what we need him to do. Because now that he has that pesky little impeachment turd out of his punch bowl, now it's time to get shit done. Now it's time to turn that weapon on them. You fucking dumbasses. Man, let me hop in this damn rat race. Uh-oh, look, guys, look. There's a police officer. Uh-oh, I better hide my face so I don't get shot. You know, I'm driving while black. You fucking stupid. Oh, man. Oh, anyway, you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.